Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We talk animated shows and movies here, especially Miraculous Ladybug and The Owl House. Find everything about us at overlyanimated.com. I'm your host, Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Delaney Stovall.
Hey, y'all.
And April Collins.
Hi there.
We back, talking about Miraculous Ladybug. We
Dream
back. The team's back. This is our Season 5 preview podcast for Miraculous Ladybug. This will be kind of an all-encompassing one, transitioning us from the end of Season 4 to the beginning of Season 5, which we have not seen yet. More on that in a second. But this podcast will consist of us talking about all the latest Ladybug news. So there's been a lot of stuff coming out. We're going to revisit the end of Season 4, and then we will spend a little bit of time speculating about Season 5. Although, as we'll talk about in the news segment, Season 5 has started airing in Brazil. We have not seen it yet, so keep that in mind.
Yeah, we don't live in Brazil or speak Portuguese.
Yeah, clearly everyone who has seen those episodes meet those criteria, yes. One or the other, but yeah. So we have keep in mind we have not seen any of Season 5 yet. There will only be minor spoilers for Season 5 in this podcast. Don't worry, we know very little. I think April and Delaney know like nothing, and I know. Delaney definitely knows nothing.
I know nothing.
I know like barely anything, so I might. Yes.
I was gonna say the only things that I've seen was like the promo poster or whatever, where it looked like Hawkmoth was having a like Thanos moment, and then
oh yeah, but that's he really has gotten them.
And then
so
there was like a random screenshot that I saw that had Chloe's mom in it, and that was it. And I was like, okay,
I haven't
cool.
seen that. Okay, spoilers.
Oh wait, was it Chloe's mom? It might have been Felix. Okay.
Oh yeah, they look pretty similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which mom? Okay, which blonde?
It was
mom?
a mother of someone.
Okay. It was someone.
I assume we'll see them all at some point in Season 5, but
can't assume anything.
No spoilers for all of Season 4. No, only minor spoilers for Season 5. There are, as we're going to talk about in the news segment, there are many spoilers out there. Please do not comment any spoilers anywhere that you
because
are listening
I will
to
find
this.
you.
You guys actually did a great job of this in Season 4. That we were behind the worldwide airings and no one really spoiled us. So thank you. Please continue that. Zero spoilers in the comments wherever you're listening. I might even turn comments off on our Discord. You have to have strictly tagging things, but please do not spoil us. There's more spoilers than ever out there. You're gonna ruin. I'll turn comments off everywhere in the blink of an eye. So please don't ruin it for everything. Okay. So
I love the abuse of power.
It's one button. Dylan will just do it. They'll just be over.
I hope so.
So powerful.
Yeah, for every podcast. But
oh my gosh.
Let's talk about why there are so many spoilers. So let's go over the state of Ladybug and get Delaney's reactions to some of these things, potentially April's as well. So Season 5 has started to air in Brazil. There have been 2 episodes so we're recording this on Sunday, June 26th. All this news is as of Sunday, June 26th. Okay. 2 episodes have aired in Brazil, I believe. None have aired, I don't think, anywhere else in the world. We don't know yet when they'll air in the United States. We know it won't be July, so to be determined. Maybe August or September. That would be my guess, based on the fact that Brazil has multiple episodes already, but we'll see. So probably a few months until the US. The US was pretty on it in Season 4. It was one of the first countries to air episodes. So I'm hopeful that it'll
really
be August or September.
That.
Yeah. But we will see. No, only Brazil, only Gloob has aired stuff so far.
Gloob.
So
Gloob.
I believe it's in order so far. That's good.
That's something too.
That's weird.
That's something that is weird.
You would assume there's the strict order this season, but we don't know.
No.
Okay. Next, all of the Season 5 titles have leaked. This happens every season. But we know. Well, don't. Okay, you guys are about to be blown away by this next one. But
oh, no.
I did look at the titles, so I know the titles. They're not really spoilers.
Blasphemy.
This will be one of your minor spoilers for Season 5. I'll say the format of the titles is interesting. They seem to not be named after villains. Maybe, I don't know. But all I know is the titles correspond to each Miraculous's power. So the power of blank is like the title of the episodes.
Like the power of destruction.
Yeah,
the
a lot of them end
time
in
travel.
like I like ION. Like a lot of them end in like that. Yeah. So maybe each episode will focus on a different miraculous. We're trying to get back from Hawkmoth. That's possible.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the title format. There's a few 2-parters, it should be exciting. Also, I think it's 27 episodes, not 26. We'll see what that's about. So there you go. All the titles are though. Okay, here's the big one. The season. I didn't know this even existed. A Bible of the season has leaked.
No,
this
really?
contains every major plot point for the entire season, and it is.
How
out
does
there.
that happen? Like.
And Thomas basically confirmed it on Twitter. I was like, this could be fake. But no, Thomas was like, no, I'm pissed about this. So.
That's awful.
I don't know how this happened.
Yeah, I'm like, what? Also, how are we at this point now with this? I mean, I guess, like, I don't even know. Like, is this like, I don't know. Like, is this where we're gonna have to go? We're like, well, now this is like the MCU. We have to keep things under lock and key. Is this like a sign that Ladybug's made it? Like,
I think so. Yeah. It is a sign.
That the season 5.
It goes. It's like the MCU. Miraculous Ladybug.
Yeah.
This is fake. This is better version of the MCU. We all know that. So. Yeah, so I mean, I don't think that many people have looked at these spoilers because everyone doesn't want you to. Even the people that watch the early airings in other countries, like, don't look at this. Don't spoil yourself. Ladybug has been building up to this season 5 for like 5 years. Like, why would you spoil yourself on this?
Like, like, you're only hurting yourself. Don't do it.
Yeah. So that's my message to all the fans who.
That's really messed up that happened. Also, like, what?
So Ladybug, yeah. Somewhere out there, someone knows when the identity reveals are coming. You will not tell us, or else I'll go berserk. So don't. That's why I'm like, don't spoil.
That Dylan will unleash April.
I actually don't know. Yeah, well, April, you don't want April going after you.
Well, the secret is it's not happening, so it's okay.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. There's no spoiler to be found.
There's no spoiler because they're never gonna know.
The spoiler is the fact that no one has spoiled it.
Someone's gonna come saying, "Spoiler: identity reveal's not coming." Ha ha ha! And we'll be like, "Oh, funny joke," but no, that's actually real.
No.
Real?
We'll go on tour with a foam bat and we'll like bonk you. We'll be like, "Stop
bonk you." Okay.
Spoiling.
Yeah, for spoiling. Okay, so keep that in mind. Basically, I would just not recommend looking at any. The problem with this happening is you can't look anywhere online safely for anything. So.
Nope. I was gonna say was just talking to you guys the other day about how I can't go on Twitter anymore.
Well, great. There's even more reasons not to go on Twitter, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But like you know how it doesn't just show you like who you follow and what they post. It just shows you.
No,
it'll just be like, hey, I think you might be interested in this, and I'm like, no.
Yeah, no, this is me in the Owl House. I'm like, you can't be on the internet anywhere. The spoilers like are everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah, anything that like generates a suggestion is dangerous for this. I'm not actually sure how many like Bible leak spoilers are out there. I do feel like people are trying not to post anything about it, but at the very least, like episodes 1 and 2 spoilers would be out there for sure.
I cannot believe I'm not going to be able to get over this. We'll be at the end of the podcast, and I'll be like, I can't believe the season 5 Bible leak.
How many years, Delaney, have we been talking about Ladybug on the podcast for it to just leak before the last season?
I can't even, like, what?
Isn't like
there wasn't
fun.
even anything to leak for so long, and now we're here. Like,
yeah, nothing happened until the one season when it's happening.
and now they're like, oh, we're gonna spoil you, and I'm
trying
like, why are y'all like this?
Trying to find the exact date on the.
I'm like, look, there are children who live in my neighborhood who make sure not to spoil me. Everyone can be like this, okay?
December 6th, 2015 was our first. It's been almost coming up on 7 years for us podcasting on Ladybug.
Wow.
Now I just feel ancient.
Yeah, you were an actual baby when this started.
I was an actual
baby.
Yeah, you were the baby that keeps getting akumatized. That was you.
Yeah,
that was sweet.
Literally.
7 years just for you to leak the Bible, Zag? Are you kidding me?
Like, really? Like, we've been waiting for this moment, and it just happens. Like, no.
Oh my god. Okay.
I mean,
well,
it would have been really interesting 7 years ago.
What if 7 years ago they leaked the whole show?
They leaked the season
and then
5
Thomas didn't
Bible.
change it, and they just kept doing it.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay, so don't. I was thinking of just not doing any podcast before the season started, partly because of the possibility of getting spoiled. So again, don't ruin it. Okay.
Don't do it, guys.
Next news.
Don't
So
do
in a
it.
bit of good news, Thomas tweeted that he is. So first he tweeted, "It begins with a 6 on one of the writers' hands, and it is the writers with a 6 on their hands. Presumably, they have started writing season 6 of Ladybug."
Ooh,
That was my guess.
that's
Yes. So
good. I love these vague tweets that Thomas does.
yeah, but then he clarified, and I asked him, "What's your role?" Okay, and he I don't know if it was in response to that, but he clarified. He says, "Artistic supervisor, the mission, expanding the Miracleverse, which includes writing new season arcs, but also new concepts, new stories, directing new specials, etc.
MCU.
The consequence, the band is
Yeah.
back." The challenge, how the F are we going to top ourselves? Well, we haven't seen it yet, season 5. But, okay, so previously Thomas tweeted, I believe we probably talked about this on the podcast at some point, but he previously tweeted that he hadn't worked at Zag in like a year or something, or like he wasn't even working on Ladybug. So I was very worried that Thomas was just done with the show, that like he wasn't rehired to do work post writing of season 5. We know he definitely wrote season 5 and the normal writers because they were doing that countdown thing, and that was towards the end of writing season 5. So we know that he seems like he's credited as director for the first few episodes of season 5. I don't know what that means, but I don't know if he's directing season 5 or what his involvement is. But regardless, we're worried that like Ladybug is continuing without Thomas, essentially.
Right.
But that's
Yeah.
not the case. He is artistic
Thank God.
supervisor. He will be. We know he's writing season 6, and all the writers are back, plus one new writer for season 6. Wonderful. The Ladybug's had consistent writers the entire time. I think that's like probably the number one reason why it's been great, despite like its huge popularity expansion. He might, yeah, it seems to be at least overseeing Ladybug continuing past season 5. So where my reaction was, I was previously like, if Thomas isn't involved in Ladybug after season 5 and our main story arc ends this season, I like might not care about Ladybug after this. But with him involved, I'm in, sure. As long as the core creative team is there, I'm in on Ladybug as long as they're going.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Delaney, any reactions?
It's just intense that it really is like the Miraculous cinematic universe.
They're also like going past 5, which we weren't. I mean, we know they got
Yeah.
renewed for 6 and 7, but the fact that this is happening now.
Yeah, I was like, thank God.
Well, they're actually like sitting in the writers' room doing
yes,
it.
that's good. That's
Which
what we're
means we won't get like season 6 for like 5 years. So
Yeah, I was gonna say. So they the tweet from them beginning writing the season is June 21st, so it's only 5 days ago.
Okay.
We know Ladybug seems to take like two years to make. So genuinely 2024 at some point for season 6 of Ladybug. Like lock that in.
2024 is like if they hustle through it, like they give us season 1 quality.
No.
So-
I mean, I don't think it takes actually longer than 2 years, but who knows? I don't know how much they're like revamping
Well,
it.
if
Like,
they're only
did they shut down
writing-
production and then they have to
Yeah.
rehire everyone? Like, then it could take a long time, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, I feel like that if they knew season 6 was coming,
You would think
then-
that they would, have that.
Yeah, well,
keep
and
everyone.
are we just assuming that season 5 is completed? Because
Oh, it's definitely not completed.
Yeah, so I mean, like they probably were just like, "Hey, we're extending our time with you," unless they go with like a different studio or something.
Yeah, I guess
to
the fact that
animate.
they're still writing. I mean, pre-prod on 5 has probably been done. But
Yeah,
they're writing 6 and hopefully ramping up pre-prod on 6 while 5 is still in post-prod. I think
because I was
not
gonna
too
say
bad.
because they've done that with other seasons before, so I mean,
Anyway,
I don't
it'll
see
still
why
be
they
late. It'll
wouldn't
still
do.
be 2024. But
I'm
Yeah.
here for the ride. I'm glad Thomas and the crew. Like, I'm just here.
yes, congrats.
Yeah,
to all
I'm
of
glad.
them.
I'm glad Thomas is like going to be continuing on with it. I don't know that I would have like completely abandoned it if Thomas wasn't going to be a part of it after season 5. I may have watched like a couple.
Yeah, I mean,
episodes.
we'd probably still check it out, but it's a different show, I think. But there's also news. Thomas was announced as the series director on a new Astro Boy reboot, which is an anime. They're making the Ladybug Method Animation production company that makes Ladybug, which is separate from Zag, is is working on the Astro Boy reboot, which is a big deal. And so
And
congrats
that's
to
also
Thomas
really cool
for.
because Astro Boy's cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
But Thomas is also occupied with that, so I doubt he'll be directing episode to episode on season 6.
Which may be why he's just the artistic supervisor, because then he can be more, I say more hands off, versus like having to like directly be involved.
Yeah, but he might even, if he's in the room for every episode writing, then that's still pretty involved.
Yes,
so I'm happy with
yeah.
that. But yeah, it's a lot of work for Thomas, which is great because he's super talented, one of the best out there. And love seeing all the Ladybug writers back. Hope all the directors and stuff back as well. We don't know. So that's all good news there for the future of Ladybug.
Yay!
The next thing coming up, probably in terms of the expanded Ladybug universe, is the animated Awakening movie, which we've been talking about for a while. The latest news is it might be coming out in France soon this year.
I love how
I thought it was like the end of this year.
Yeah, I think they announced a date in a few months, so we'll see if they meet that. But yeah, that could be happening soon. No, I don't know when it's coming out in America. I don't know if it'll be in theaters or straight to Disney Plus. So we'll see.
But when it's here, I'm gonna watch it. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, Jeremy is directing that one, not Thomas. So not like the most excited for it, but definitely we're gonna watch. So
We're like contractually obligated.
we have this small contract with Jeremy's Egg that says we have to.
I mean, they
watch.
should have sponsored us, but
oh my gosh, why haven't they sponsored us yet?
Too busy making all the.
I got your merch. Come on.
Right.
Okay, there you go. Any other news you've seen?
I know that Jeremy had been posting a lot of like Ladybug movie screen stills.
Yeah, and there's recently a still of maybe the Japan
Is that the
special
same
hero.
thing as Awakening, or is this a different movie?
It's a different because
just clarifying. That's what I thought too.
No, Awakening. No, he's posting the Awakening stills, also special promo images
Okay.
separately. Yeah, so
yeah,
those
like
are both out there
he's
too.
still like he's been continuously posting Ladybug like stills.
Yeah.
But then also at the same time talking a lot about Awakening.
Yeah, well, that's his thing. Yeah, his most recent post is Lady Tiger, which is the Japan special hero. But that, we'll see that in 5 years. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sure. Thanks for the Lady Tiger.
It'll come out at the same time as the movie.
Should all the heroes be called Lady something? Is this reductive? Are we past Lady everything?
I know. I don't even.
But she is our milady.
It depends.
See, like Ladybug is a real word, but they've taken the lady from it.
I don't even know.
You like Ladybug doesn't sound like female bug to us. It's like it's an animal.
Well, but like I wonder if, because you remember how when we were watching things in like French and how we were like, oh, we like how like somebody's name was in French versus like how it was.
It could be a different. That could be a translation.
So I wonder if like that's just like them not translating it the right way, and they're just like, we're just gonna do Lady Noir. Nailed it.
Yeah, no, it's true. We'll see. Maybe they'll change it, but if that's their naming scheme, I mean, I think you can do better.
I mean, I don't know.
It's the American naming scheme.
Yeah. I'm still mad about it. It's like Ladybug, Tales of Cat Noir. Like, shut up.
Well, that's the English title, but yeah.
Yeah, I hate that.
Now you go to Disney Plus or wherever, and it's like, yep, we see the full title. That's fun. Yeah.
Forgot it had a full title.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go talk season 4. Let's take our way back to what was somehow only like 4 months ago or 3 months ago, the end of season 4. And
my life.
You what?
The longest hour of my life was 2 episodes.
These 2 episodes. How many times have you said that as your reaction to a Ladybug episode?
Oh, we can't. I mean, if we wanted to go back, it's probably every finale. So.
Every finale, yeah.
Every
20-minute episode.
Every time we reach an hour, I'm like, that was a long hour.
Okay, so the main thing we want to do here is only April and I were on the season 4 finale podcast, so we need to get Delaney's thoughts on the season 4 finale.
Yes.
God.
We know there's going to be exasperated sighs and stuff like that.
There might be some crying, like.
I rewatched and I didn't cry, but I felt like it.
Did you feel like crying because you were like overwhelmed with sadness, or like were you just crying because of what was going on in and of itself?
Yes, both. The big cry. Like, well, I texted my wife and I was like, they killed Alia. It's not what happened. But it felt like it. She was like, really? And I'm like, no, she renounced her Miraculous, but that's basically like dying. I'm like, this ruined my life.
What's her new name? Is it Rena Furtive? They killed Rena Furtive though, because she's not going to be her anymore,
so
right?
They killed Rena Rouge and Rena Furtive.
They killed both of them.
Yeah, I guess that is your main reaction, right? Is that what do you think of that as the end of the Alia arc for season 4? Is her renouncing her Miraculous?
I mean, it makes a lot of sense. Like, it has to happen, and also it's like just a device so that so Hawkmoth can steal it. But like, it makes a lot of sense that it goes on. Like, I don't know, it felt right, but it also like hurt my soul.
Yeah, it's sad.
No, it's like, I renounce, and I'm like, ugh! And then I will say it's immediately like when you watch it the first time, it like kills you. But then you get to the end of the episode and everyone's renouncing the Miraculous because it's the little like it felt way longer the first time you watch it when Felix and Hawkmoth are like doing their little standoff.
Yeah. Yeah, if she just didn't do that, they would have 3 Miraculouses instead of 2. But but no. But I mean, no, it paid off. Her telling Nino and her tricking Shadow Moth. So yeah, I mean, that's
I will say that's really good when he's like, she's still active. Like, it's so
yeah.
good.
Yeah, that is nice. What were the main things you were reacting to, if you can remember from the finale, Delaney?
Well, like at first where you're like, oh, maybe Felix will be a good boy. No. So close. And then also like, I don't know, when she has a panic attack and she's in the bathroom and like, I can't even remember the name of the episode where he does his confident voice. He needs to tone that back.
His confident voice.
Adrian Yower, at the end of he sounds too much like
Are you talking about at the end of the second part?
Yeah,
he gives a speech to Ladybug. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna memorize that.
I'm like, you need to lighten your voice up, buddy.
Them, the people of Paris.
Yeah, no, he sounds too much like
you, my lady.
when he's like, oh, I remember.
Yeah, I mean, it was just very sad. Ladybug very sad at the end, right?
It's awful. And then there's so much, the first part of the finale is, so painful to watch. And it was and I was like, I can watch this. And then I rewatch it, and I'm like, no, it's still as annoying as it was the first time. When Isla and Chloe, stare at each other to, shove Marion out of the way. I'm just
their big moment. Yeah, what's your favorite part in the finale, Delaney?
It's so hard. There's so many good parts. I will say when they're absolutely reckless, ridiculous, every time they switch around between everybody and you just hear Froggy's little song. It's so good.
Yeah, are you a Froggy stan? I feel like you're a Froggy.
Oh yeah, I am Froggy. That is correct. And then I don't know, it's just really, I love the whole time Tiki's you're going to use it for that? That's really good. You've been taking too many risks today. Every time he said risk, I just, my soul left my body.
As intended. Let's go through the main events again from the second part.
I just remember being so shook when Felix showed up, and watching it the second time, I'm like, oh, it's Felix.
Yeah, that's the main thing I want to talk about is revisiting Felix motivations.
Oh, you mean Evil Morty?
Evil Morty?
He's literally Evil Morty.
Wait, that's it's so accurate. Why? He also just randomly pops up in an episode and then comes back to affect.
Yes, I'm it's literally
to further ruin things.
He even has this little eye thing. I'm you're literally Evil Morty. That's what's going on. Also, where did you get this tech, Felix? What the heck?
Don't make me like him by calling him Evil Morty. So Felix has the Peacock Miraculous after he has his trade with Gabriel, gives Gabriel all of the Miraculouses, and Hawkmoth has all the Miraculouses now except the Ladybug, Cat, and Peacock Miraculouses, and has both rings. That's the state of things.
What's great is that like he still is like you're still not, you still haven't won, you butthead. Like,
yeah, is this as close? I mean, his goal is to get 2, and he has all of them except for those 2, basically.
What?
Well, what do you think? What
anymore?
Yeah, well, we'll talk about what he might be now in season 5. Delaney, what's you what was your thoughts on him having all the Miraculouses now, except for those 3?
Well, when you're watching it, it's heartbreaking and it's awful, and you're like, this is the end of everything, and he like evil speaks to Paris, and it's like, what are you doing? But I don't know. It's hard to know how I feel about it. Like, I mean, some of it's a letdown, but I mean, not a letdown, but it's just one of those like, I don't know. It's like it's almost like you feel like we're back where we started, but we're not.
Is it a little frustrating because it's like another setup to a season that's not like getting us to the major points where we want it to be? Right.
Yes. Well, there's also been a lot of talk of like so Hawkmoth is like, I don't know, it's like we're setting up a bunch of villains, but then it's like, what is this going to turn into, like kids fighting each other in the streets? Like, is that what we're doing? Or
instead of kids fighting this grown man, through proxies, including sometimes babies, yeah.
I don't know. Like, it's hard. Like, I don't know. I will say the thing with Ladybug is it's always hard to know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about it, but it's also like, I mean, it hurts. Like, watching the finale hurts really bad.
Yeah, not the most fun finale. A lot of...
Have we ever had a fun finale?
Season 2 fun? I don't remember.
Season 3, like, well, we win sometime.
Season 1, because we didn't know it was the last episode of the season.
Yeah, they just randomly put Origins at the end. Yeah,
right.
That's the most fun finale. So the end scene, we talked about the speech. Cat is the only one there for Ladybug at the end, and she's really sad. Were you feeling the Lady Noir?
I am, except he's using that voice.
Okay. We need to figure out this voice, and we need to do this voice on the podcast now. The Cat speech voice.
God.
April, any new thoughts on the state of things after season 4?
So it's really hard. Like, it's really hard to know how I feel about a lot of it because I rewatched the episodes for this podcast, and it's hard to know how I kind of feel about like Hawkmoth having all of the Miraculouses now until we see him in action.
Yeah. Like, he's going to show up and be like, hey, you're going to be bad, Rena Rouge.
Right. Like, I'm like, is he going to, like, that was, like, the idea that I was having. I was like, is this going to be, like, the, like, Hawkmoth version of Ladybug giving out Miraculouses? Like, he just starts handing them out to people. I'm like, hey, do bad things for me. And they're like, yeah, sure, no problem. And he's like, okay, but, like, whatever it's done, you have to give me back the Miraculous.
Yeah, no, that's
and he meets them in the sewer.
Right? Like, well, here's the thing, because we know, like, so Lila and Chloe are, like, in, I think.
Yeah.
But then also there are, like, I will say Chloe, as much as, like, I do still think Chloe's our wild card.
Chloe.
Because, I don't know, kind of like how Chloe...
I mean, he could even, like, utilize Felix as a wild card, too.
Yes, except Felix is, like, doing whatever Felix does in London.
Yeah, so he would have to be really desperate to call on Felix.
Also, are we going to go to London? How many times are we going to get on trains?
And not go to London?
Does Felix, do they live in London? I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. We'll talk about Felix, but everyone else...
Take a train.
Yeah, they always take the train.
The Star Train.
Yeah.
But Felix, the dog Miraculous, he's formidable, but not relevant moving forward. But it was cool. What'd you think?
It was cool. And I'm almost, also, if only he was a little, like, almost as, like, like, I love that the tie is, like, they just need to figure it out, like, because they don't know how to play games. But unfortunately, Felix is evil.
Yeah.
And like I really was rooting. I was like, Felix, no, learn the error of your ways. And no, he didn't. He's like, no, I'm going to take all of them.
Well, you have so much hope for him kind of in that first part of the finale because you're like, look at him doing a solid for Adrian. Like, that's what a good cousin.
Being with Ladybug, and then he just completely evil Mortys it.
Okay, let's dig into Felix. I want to talk about the ring and Felix. This is the only thing I really want to talk about. This,
I know. I was
Just
waiting.
the
I was
ring?
waiting for the Senta monster and the.
Yeah.
Look, we held off Senta Monster talk as long as we could.
Yes,
but
it's true. But I agree with April. We just need to see in action how the
yeah, because
that's
it's hard to know.
Yeah, because we don't. I mean, Hawkmoth is such a, and I know this is like stalling Felix talk, but Hawkmoth is such a villain that when he's on it, but more than half of the time it's kind of like, what are you doing? And so I just need to know how he decides to use or what his plan is with them.
Also, he was off it. Like during the finale, he's like all over the place. He's lost.
I feel like everyone's just a little bit like they need therapy in the finale.
Yes.
like Hawkmoth's giving up, Ladybug's losing it in Adrian's bathroom. I'm like,
What?
is this the episode of my life? Or
Gabriel therapy. Who needs therapy when you have all the all like 50 miraculouses? That's his form of therapy. That's his self-care is pulling out all his jewels and looking at them.
He didn't know what he needed until he had it.
We got worry for Gabriel now. He is just going to be obsessed with these toys, and
you have to assume Felix is just going to go back to his room in London and just like think about his aunt who's in the dead wife garden.
Yeah, was that in part? I only rewatched part 2. That was in part 1. He saw the dead wife garden.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and he recorded all of it. Like
yeah.
He recorded. Gabriel exposed on YouTube. Okay, Felix. So let's set this up. So April and I did the finale podcast. I mistakenly said that the ring he gave back was Adrian's ring in that podcast. In fact, he gives back his own ring, Felix.
Yes.
So, I mean, I think this is confusing. I do think it's like a mistake of the show to not mention Felix's ring before that scene comes up in the finale.
Well, you have to remember from way back whenever
you have to remember it, that, and Felix really is only associated with that ring, so I should have gotten it right. That being said, I think it's a pretty big mistake that the finale just doesn't have any precedent for that scene in the finale.
Well, no, they can't let us know about Senta monsters yet.
Yeah, well, you're right. You're right. Honestly, it's probably because they're hiding a bunch of stuff. There's a scene at the end where Natalie doesn't have Adrian's ring on, but that was an animation error. It's been confirmed. So Natalie is supposed to have Adrian's ring at the end of the finale.
And she supposedly uses it on Felix.
So she fakes that. Felix acts, I think, is what happens.
Yes.
So Felix knows that ring is supposed to control Adrian, so he's playing into that notion.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
But and you even have that whole moment where Gabriel's like, "Oh, I'm not wearing my ring."
Yeah, when was that?
That's in part 1. Where so Gabriel's like, he's about to rub his ring, and he's like,
"Oh yeah."
And that's when Natalie is like, "JK, it's me."
Yeah, no, she.
Yeah, well, because he purposefully gave it to Natalie.
Yeah, he makes it a big deal
to control,
protect my son.
Yes, well, and then you also have to recall, and this is why, I guess it gets very confusing if you don't remember the whole ring situation. Is that Adrian's ring was on his mom, and Gabriel was wearing Felix's, and then Felix steals his own ring back. So then Gabriel starts wearing Adrian.
Gabriel takes the ring off his dead wife and then wears it himself.
Yes.
Yeah. And then he gives it to Natalie. So now he doesn't have a ring anymore. He's single and trying to mingle.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, by the way, that maybe counters the notion that each ring is a specific controlling device for a specific twin, because that means that before Gabriel took the ring off his dead wife, who's not actually dead, that he wouldn't have been able to control Adrian because he's Felix's controlling ring, not Adrian's, right? So doesn't that kind of contradict the notion that...
But I have a counter to that, just a little bit. Because I know what you're going to say. I think, though, it wasn't up until all of this, Ladybug, Hawkmoth stuff, and until Adrian went back to school, that Adrian started to misbehave.
Yes.
Because
So we need to look for proof before the episode, Felix, of Gabriel controlling Adrian.
yeah, but there's not going to be any, because we know it to be true that Adrian has always been like the good boy. Like, he's always listened to his father. He's always done what his father has said. Like, I mean, the ring's obviously not going to control his own individual thoughts, but in terms of like his actions and decisions, then that's what we've seen demonstrated recently. So
basically, it would be a recent thing, is what you're saying. And by the way, all of this is based on the assumption that Adrian and Felix are sentimonsters, which we've talked about on the podcast, and that the rings are their controlling objects, storing their amucks. I noticed that I usually set that up before, but we just dove into that.
They should be used to it at this point.
What if someone's just searched Ladybug in Apple Podcasts, like clicks on this their first time listening, and then we're just talking about this, and they have no idea that Adrian's a Sentimonster?
They know.
Does your average child
Spoiler.
watching at this point know that Adrian's a Sentimonster? Like, obviously, like the thing is, they don't reveal that they're Sentimonsters, but it's more apparent than ever in these last 2 episodes, right? That they're both Sentimonsters.
Yes. And also the rings are important.
And it's clear the rings are important because they're negotiating about the rings. Anyway, so here's the thing. Felix gives back, and by the way, if you're a new Ladybug fan, and you can post a comment. Did you know or not know of that they're
Adrian was a Sentimonster?
If you consume no fandom content, do you pick that up? I'm not even sure. So
I think we're the only people in the fandom who are like hardcore.
We're more hardcore, but I think everyone knows, definitely.
Well, now after these last 2 episodes, but we've been
for a while. It
while.
was kind of just us. I mean, we didn't originate the theory, I should say, as always, but we were talking about it more than anyone. Okay, Felix gives back his ring to Gabriel in exchange, and plus all the other Miraculouses, in exchange for the Peacock Miraculous. So this is the question: why did he do that? Because if that ring controls himself, then you would think this move does not make any sense. So he gave back the ring. He gave Gabriel the ring with the power to control him in exchange for the Peacock Miraculous. Yes. Again, this is based on the information we know, this is a contradictory. So here's 2 options. You guys tell me what you think. Option number 1, that ring does not actually control Felix. That would solve this contradiction. That's not the a mucked object. It has some other purpose, as we're talking about. That would resolve this contradiction. Okay, option number 2. Felix has plans for the Peacock Miraculous beyond what we know of its powers currently.
Yes.
So there will be new information introduced with the Peacock Miraculous. Here's my theory. Felix knows because he's, I guess, researching, because he's apparently all-knowing, because he's a stupid character, but that's besides the point. He's figured out that he can use the Peacock Miraculous to unbind Sensimonsters from their akumatized object. So he wants to trade for the Peacock Miraculous so that he can free himself.
And possibly Adrian.
Yeah.
And maybe also Adrian, yeah.
Absolutely. I'm sold on that second one.
Because I do think there is also I think a another option where Felix is also like, we have to remember they are 14, 15-year-old children, and they're not smart all the time. And he was like, you have a secret. And he found out what the secret was. And he's like, I'm coming back to ruin your life. And he did it. He was
he could just be petty, even though he's working against his self-interest. I would entertain that, but I think Felix's whole thing is he's just so calculating, like that's just all we see of his character.
I mean, my thing is what you said can still go with all of these other things. Like, he
could still be petty, which would be fun. But
I was like, why not both? Like, why not be petty and...
And I will say, and we can all talk, is it for show? How much is Felix acting? How much is Felix not? I do think there is like legitimate love Felix has for Adrian and for like his family. And
it's a huge question after the finale. What does Felix think of Adrian? Yeah. But
I also think he does. I think he is showing legitimate remorse when he betrays Ladybug.
With the thing is, if he kept his own ring, he's not going to be controlled. So he's okay. If he takes back the Peacock Miraculous, he can free himself, but he can free other people too. So maybe he's being selfless.
I think the selflessness is going to come as like a secondary thought for him. Like,
And by the way, the other thing he gains if he can free himself, if he has the Peacock Miraculous, he can't be snapped out of existence. So that's kind of big too.
I was gonna say, and that's why. Well, and up until this point, like Gabriel has never done anything with Felix's ring to control him. He just lets him be a brat. And so I think that's probably why Felix was very confident in giving the ring back over, was because, like, he knows that there's sentimental value to Gabriel, but also he has no reason to believe that Gabriel's just going to, like, sit there and control him from Paris, like, and ruin his life, because Gabriel doesn't care about that. That's not on his agenda. So I think that,
especially when he's giving him all these new toys, it's like almost a distraction. So it's like, you're not going to do anything with your ring until I can take action first.
Right. Well, but that's the other thing too, is that he's like, you're not going to do anything with this ring here. What I really want is just this one Miraculous. Like, I mean, you use it, what, once a week, maybe? I don't know. Like, here, have all of these other toys to play with.
Well, it's kind of like, it's also kind of, Hawkmoth is blinded. Kind of.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of, like, one, his all-consuming desire for the wish, and also he's greedy.
Yeah. Because up until this point, also, the Peacock Miraculous had not really gotten Hawkmoth the Ladybug and Cat Noir's Miraculouses. So if I were a Hawkmoth, at a certain point, I would just be like, okay, well, this is useless. I need something else to do.
Well, we're kind of at this point now where I think Hawkmoth has figured this out too. So in the finale, he's like, I need you to make a mistake.
Yeah.
Well, now he's just going to be like, fine, I'm going to terrorize everyone until the 15-year-olds in this city just give up.
Exactly.
Yeah, it makes sense from Gabriel's perspective, especially emotionally, but also maybe it's the right strategic decision. But back to Felix again for a second is I was watching the part 2 from the perspective.
The best part is that, like, this is all happening in the same house. They are all in the same house
while this is taking place.
And they're on the train, by the way, and we get some train stall.
We get some train
action.
stall stuff. And and she comes out and like she's all dolled up, and he's like, what?
It's like, she's like, I'm Ladybug. I'm not coming up with a name. Okay. So Felix, she's
Pegabug.
Here's what I noticed. Yeah. Plus some other one. Felix watched Ladybug in awe using time travel in this episode and everything. Like he noticed Ladybug using all these powers. And he still, at the end, only wants the peacock. He starts the part 2 of the episode. He thinks he has the peacock. It's a fake. He's frustrated. He sees Ladybug use time travel. He sees everything. At the end, he still only wants the peacock. Notable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
he's
a
still willing
monster.
to give everything up. And then he says about the ring at the end, I won't be needing it anymore. Needing it anymore.
Yeah.
That kind of supports this notion that he can overwrite the binding to the ring.
Right. And he has the iPad. He has all of the information.
So this notion that I actually want to challenge, I think, after seeing this episode thing, because I want to know the notion that Felix is evil. I actually don't think so. So
no, I don't think so either.
Here's a comparison
I think he's just self-serving.
So I recently caught up on Westworld. I don't know how many people are going to have seen both, but I think Felix is Dolores from Westworld.
Absolutely.
So there's robots. There's Dolores is like leading the robot revolution. Vague description. So I think that's Felix's role. We talked about this on the initial finale podcast. Felix as an ambassador for all Sentimonsters, right? Like, right. I think his motivations are to lead his, like, people, like his Sentimonster people. And I actually do see a lot of selflessness with him taking the peacock and potentially freeing other Sentimonsters, including Adrian. He sees the three, whatever they were, strikebacks in the finale. They go into the Sentimonsters, they go into the sun, and he's upset about it, right?
He feels remorse because he had a role in that.
I think Felix is going to be the revolution for the Centimonsters. Like, I think he sees this terrible system of these people, and it goes just beyond his fake uncle creating them. There's this magic thing that can create life and destroy it at will, and this is a terrible system, and he wants to tear this down, and he is going to free all of these, this new species that has been created. And he might stop at nothing to do so, but I don't know if that means that he's evil. I think he's kind of like morally gray in that sense.
I love this idea. I don't know that that's what's going to happen.
It's a little hard to see like the show going to Felix throughout the season as like a revolution leader.
We go back and forth too much between like we had like fake Ladybug. Like they make like people Centimonsters and then they make monster Centimonsters. Like
yeah, that's true.
And then and that's the thing. It's like it's a very delicate between making clones and then making like
an imaginary being
or like Strike Back, you know?
Yeah.
By the way, Westworld is the live action Ladybug. That's my theory because it's it's completely ridiculous, but also a good show. But it's like so ridiculous. Anyway, that was my conclusion. I think it isn't like this is new information, but I'm like all on board on this, like Felix being the Centimonster kind of ambassador as what they're doing here.
Based on behavior and like how Felix has been, like I trust Felix more than I will ever trust Lila for the rest of my life.
That's fair. I agree with that.
Yeah, right. Like Lila, it's very self-serving. It's possible that Felix has other motivations.
I do think that. I think Felix, he genuinely does care for Adrian. And I think that him wanting the miraculous peacock, or the peacock miraculous, is just so he can free himself, but also Adrian, because he knows that Adrian has to like suffer through so much stuff. And I mean, maybe he hasn't known it all along, but he's obviously figured it out. And he... like his mom has been very great to him in the fact that he's gotten to just be a kid, it seems. I mean, yeah, he's a unique child, but but also like Adrian's never really gotten that opportunity to sort of be himself, unlike him. And so I think that he like, and that's why he feels like remorseful about the strike backs and why he's willing to, like, I think he was willing to give Adrian the break, not so he could obviously fulfill his plan with Gabriel, but also to genuinely give Adrian a break from having to constantly, like, follow his father's every command. So I think that whenever we see Felix again, he will have figured something out in a way to free himself and Adrian. Like, maybe... maybe Gabriel at some point is like, son, join me on my evil quest. Here's your miraculous. And he's like, and you're gonna do what I say because you're a Centimonster and I control you.
That is something I hadn't considered.
Yeah. Well, and then Felix comes in and he's like, hey, you're not gonna be bossing Adrian around anymore because I freed him. So suck it.
Yeah, it's hard to see Felix like in the beginning. I mean, there's people that know this already, but will Felix be in the first few episodes, or will he just pop up at some point again?
At some point,
and then he'll be like, "Yeah, I freed myself," and then he comes in to free Adrian. Yeah, I mean, I think that would be good. So that would be fun. I do hope they follow up with him and Adrian. Be interesting to see if he opposes Ladybug. Ladybug did just kind of ruthlessly murder 3 Centimonsters in the finale, so he might be anti-Ladybug. But obviously, like if he knows Ladybug or thinks Ladybug will ultimately do the right thing, then he could try to explain things to her, or to explain things to Adrian, and then Adrian's that would be interesting too.
Oh, I don't know, man. We get the whole dog and cat. Like, let's be friends. Oh man,
that was great.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Purposely start up a love triangle again with Ladybug to try to manipulate her into servicing the Centimonster cause.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Any other Felix or finale thoughts? We also want to talk about Penalteam quickly.
The finale hurt me like it was expected to, but I thought it was a really good finale.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Yeah. Okay. How about we didn't go in depth into Penalteam, the episode before the finale. Delaney, do you remember the soccer episode? Any thoughts on the soccer episode?
Oh, it was great. It was a soccer episode. As someone who loves soccer, and also it's hilarious because, and that was something that they brought back into the finale. It's because Adrian doesn't know how to play any sport. Do any games.
Teach Sentimonster sports. They
so
can do
funny.
it.
And then and then also like they do it again in the finale with like not just the ball but like dodgeball. So funny. Oh my god. Yeah, I just remember the soccer, like the soccer episode gave me everything I wanted. It was like superhero soccer. We got a bunch of heroes. We have the famous soccer player doing he's just doing commentary. It's great. Just we turned the whole city into it's so good. And then Chloe's just cheating. And it's not even fun anymore. So good. A+ episode.
Yes. That checks out.
It gave me everything I wanted out of a Ladybug soccer episode.
Can't believe, did we have a soccer episode? I mean, we've had episodes in the soccer stadium. I don't know if we've had a soccer episode.
I was going to say,
before.
this is the first time we had like an actual soccer episode.
They actually played soccer. It was great.
Yeah, in the soccer stadium.
And it was superhero soccer.
Superhero soccer.
Superhero soccer. How about so we get the new heroes, by the way. I did not rewatch this, so I'm a little foggy on my memory for this. But Sabrina is Miss Hound in the episode.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
Finally get Sabrina. Mark and Nathaniel are Roosterbold and Capra Kid.
Yep.
Roosterbold and Minotaur X come back in the finale, right? But not the other two.
Correct.
I thought we saw Miss Hound again. Or maybe not.
At least in
I don't
part
remember.
2. I don't remember. Ivan is Minotaur X.
Minotaur X.
Who's your fave, Delaney, of these? Rank the 4. Testing your memory.
Well, number one, it's the best is just because Sabrina gets to play. Like that's what matters.
Yes. Justice for Sabrina.
Rooster Bolt is great because of his ability and his name.
What was his ability?
He can make copies of things.
Okay.
I don't remember anything about Capra Kid.
I don't remember anything about Capra Kid either.
I like Ivan as a
Ivan
Minotaur.
perfect,
I think it's funny.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, he's great. Okay.
Also, he's the Minotaurx, and then we still have Mylin as the mouse. So good.
Oh, are they up? Yeah.
There's
Tiny and giant.
So good. A+.
That's good. Yeah. There you go. And last Penalteam or season 4 thoughts before we get to our season 5 speculation.
Season 4 is great. And it also hurt me. Every episode hurt me.
Okay.
In good and bad ways.
Yeah.
Same as second verse, same as the first. Okay. Got it.
Yep.
So no, we love season 4. You know, I'm a little down on the finale relative to the rest of the season, but you know, it's ultimately like a transition season into season 5, so it's inevitable, I guess. But let's not forget season 4 was so incredible.
Season 4 has changed everything.
Season 4 was top notch.
We'll
like
see.
Alia, oh my god, Alia finding out is just the best thing that's ever happened, and then she renounces at the end, and I'm just crying, sobbing, watching it.
Okay, so let's talk about season 5. So, what will Alia's role be in season 5, Delaney? She's renounced the thing. Will she get will she get the Miraculous back and continue to help again?
See, that's something I don't know. Like, will she get her Miraculous back? Will she get a different Miraculous? Because that's the thing. The holders bond with the Kwamis, and the Kwamis love them.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All these relationships will be effective. That's interesting.
Well, I guess the other thing too is that none of the other Miraculous holders besides Alia have renounced their Miraculous.
That's correct.
They just take them off and give them back. No one
I don't know how
ever
that works.
So now we can do this thing where they're like, "Go find your holder."
Yeah.
But we also know the Kwamis like do what they can to not. Like, they don't want to be bossed around by Hawkmoth.
That's true.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting to see how the Kwamis play and if they're
Like, are we
going to
go back to the Kwami realm? That was fun.
Yeah, where are they going to stay now?
Yeah, where is he gonna store all of them? Will they get like a penthouse miraculous box?
Oh man. Yeah, he should like pamper them and upgrade them and try to
Or
like, get him on their
they
side.
they all get to live in the Dead Wife Garden, and they're like, oh my god.
They're like, this
We get
is
to live
bad,
outside
guys.
now. They should
But in
go
the
on
Dead
Dead
Wife
Wife
Garden.
They're gonna love it. They're like, this is the greatest place.
Oh, but then they're also like, we can't go find Marinette though, because it'll put her in danger.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So much fun, guys. We're gonna have more Tiki and Plod going on scouting missions that are like extremely dangerous.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
So I'll say here's one minor thing I think I know about the setup of the season.
Okay.
I heard the name Monarch brandied about Hawkmoth.
Monarch.
Monarch.
Yeah, I heard this.
Well, that's a kind of butterfly.
Yeah.
Right. So is this
So
his
we're on
his
brand.
final form is Monarch.
Okay.
April, what's your reaction?
Will he wear orange? Can he pull off orange?
Oh man, we have to assume it would be orange, right?
Would it be orange? He could be blue. Aren't there blue monarchs?
Are there?
This is only Google can answer these questions.
You're not wrong.
I'm pretty sure I went. Well, I did like a report on blue monarchs. I think. Let me look.
What do you
Yeah,
mean you did a
he's-
report on
When I
Blue
was in
Monarchs?
4th grade.
Don't you remember how we were gonna have the butterflies episode?
Okay,
Yeah.
let's Google Blue Monarchs.
I'm doing it now.
We're
Monarch
all
is
Googling.
There could be so kinds of colors.
Blue Monarch butterfly. Yeah, okay. Are there all the
Okay.
types of monarchs?
I don't know. I just know I did my 4th grade report on like that monarch. That's all I know.
Is it in Animal Crossing, the Blue Monarch? There's a blue one.
Is
Uh,
there? Oh,
So yeah.
no, that's like, is that a blue one? I thought that was something else.
There's so many butterflies, bro. I don't know.
Yeah. What
Okay.
does National
So, I mean,
Geographic
anyway,
have to say?
The thing about him being monarch, if that's the case, is that Emperor. It's Emperor butterfly.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The thing is that is he still the main villain, right? We're wondering, is he gonna, like how much
Yeah,
is
night.
this? How much is this Hawkmoth putting on different combinations of uniting Miraculouses? How much is this is delegating to other people?
Yeah. So and we know that there's an inherent danger
Yeah.
in
Putting on all the Miraculouses.
putting on
yeah.
all the Miraculouses, and Hawkmoth would know that, which is why he let.
Well,
Nat
yeah, because he was
stop.
also there when Marinette did that, and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe she's doing it." And I think even he was just like, "What is she doing? You can't do that!" Like,
Yeah. I have to see.
But I don't know why Monarch. That's really interesting.
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't know. I just
But
and see what nonsense happens and how many times and which babies he'll acclimatize next.
yeah, I see that. That's I just don't
Well,
know
why he
how
can't
he
do- or he
intends to
can't
use
acclimatize.
them.
Well, no, he can. Wait.
Yeah.
So he can still acclimatize. He just can't make a mux.
Yes.
Yep.
Golly, this season's been like exhausting.
Golly.
Golly.
Hopefully.
Golly.
We've now reached the part of the podcast where they bully me.
We would never.
Never.
We're just gonna get back to your 4th grade report. That's what we're really interested in.
I know.
Can you unearth this report on Blue Monarchs? What if he's wearing blue? I think we have to find that.
Yes.
It doesn't exist anywhere, but I'll make a new one.
Your parents don't like save all your old school.
Oh, they do, but this was a PowerPoint that doesn't still exist.
You don't save all your old files?
You didn't back it up on a floppy?
Yeah.
On a
Floppy.
floppy?
Delaney's a child. They didn't have floppies.
I'm not that
I
old.
know.
Jeez.
My age is showing.
You had floppies?
I had floppies in school.
I don't remember.
I don't think
guess elementary school.
I don't remember really using like flash drives until high school.
C-
Maybe.
CD-ROM.
No, we didn't.
Burn a CD.
Yeah, I did that.
Mixtape.
Yes. You made mixes for all your friends.
Burn the CD. Okay. Okay. So let's do. We speculated about Felix all. Yeah. So the options are him. Is he handing it out? Is he doing it himself? We'll see.
And yeah, that's the thing is it's really hard to predict what he's going to do with all of these Miraculouses now. And he intends to torture the city, but what does that entail? Like, is life going to go back to normal, or is he just going to like endlessly rampage upon
The mayor
upon
is just like, I give up. I'm not in charge anymore.
Like, what does that mean that he will like? He's like every
I'm not
day.
ready for poor Marinette, the guardian. Oh my god, the monks.
Oh yeah.
The monks is gonna.
Oh, they're gonna come like.
He was
like,
watching. The one guy he was watching at the end, right?
Yeah, and he was like,
Yeah.
oh no.
Okay, let's do our last thing. Let's make our official predictions for
Okay.
identity reveals, dating, and Sentimonster reveals. Because in theory, we're getting all of them this season.
In theory.
Okay, one option is going to be I'm typing this in the outline.
Yeah, I'm watching you type it.
Yeah,
So here are the options. We're going to make episodes 1 to 10, episodes 11 to 20, episodes 21 to 24, I
Okay.
guess. Because I want to include the last 3 together, because there's like a random one at the end, apparently. 25 to 27, and then not until season 6. So
Okay.
when will each of these things happen in the season?
Oh jeez.
When will they date? And then what do we
Who's
want our
they?
categories to be? Marinette and
Yep.
Adrian.
Okay.
Obviously, Marinette and Adrian. Come on, April.
Well,
Marinette and
but-
Adrian
but
dating in
also-
any form.
But also Ladybug and Cat Noir.
Right. So
Separately,
do you want them
outside
to
of-
be? Do you want those to be separate
there's so
predictions?
many-
or-
Yes.
Look
See?
at what's the thing. They can be dating and
Okay, the dating and who, and you have to call your shot on which combination.
Okay, there we go.
When is Marinette learns Adrian's identity? When does Adrian's identity? When does Adrian learn Marinette's identity?
Okay.
And when will Adrian know he's a Sentimonster? How about
When will
that?
Adrian know he's a
Not us, right? Because they could do
Okay,
it
but what
two-pronged.
what if someone else finds out before him?
No, when does Adrian himself know
Okay.
he's a Sentimonster? Okay, let's separately. When are Sentimonsters confirmed? Okay. In any fashion. And they have to say
Well, we
Sentimonster.
already know Sentimonsters.
They have to say it.
No,
They have
One,
the
two-
show has
They have to explicitly say
Yes.
Yeah.
Adrian
Okay.
is a Sentimonster.
So I'm going to make each of our official prediction bingos here.
Oh god.
Oh my goodness.
So we're predicting 5 things. So
Okay.
it's a lot of options, but we're going to be on the
So
record.
part of it is like me wanting to meme and be right, and then also being like realistic. This is so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, April, you're going first. When will they start dating? And which combination will it be? Your options are the first 10 episodes, the second 10 episodes, or the next 4, the next 3 is season 6.
Okay, so this might be I've been kind of thinking about this. So, it's going to be a little bit controversial, but I think that oh no. Yes. I think that Ladybug and Cat Noir will start dating in
Lady Noir dating first.
Lady Noir dating first, and I think like
Talk us through. What's going through your head?
because I'm trying like I think that will happen first. And I'm going to justify this because Marinette as Ladybug is at a very ridiculously low point in her superhero career.
This doesn't seem like a great reason to start dating.
But
This is bad.
hold on. But throughout the seasons, she has warmed up to Cat Noir more and more and more. And with the finale of season 4, he's really shown that, hey, you can count on me more than anyone. And I think that Marinette as Ladybug is going to take that very much to heart because we've already gotten glimpses of her being soft towards him. And so I think that they will start dating first. And
Okay.
like ideally I would want it in the first 10 episodes, but it would probably be like 11 to 20.
Okay. So dating parentheses Lady Noir in
Yes.
11 to 20 says
In
April.
11 to 20.
Delaney, what do you say?
Okay. So there's a lot back and forth. Everything April says is legit. Problem though, I don't know. So I'm like Adrianette. Okay, Adrianette's gonna happen. Now is it? But then we also have Ladybug thinking like, well, Marinette being like, my love, like I've been blinded by my love for Adrian, but also she's come so close. And so I'm gonna say Adrianette 1 to 10.
Okay.
Ooh. This is something we have to like. This has to happen for us to move forward. I feel
yeah,
like.
you would think. So I'll say about all this.
I was gonna say. So the reason why I didn't pick Adrianette over Lady Noir is because I think that because of all of the risks that Marinette took, and a lot of them involved Adrian, that she's gonna be like, I need to calm myself down with Adrian.
See, I agree, but I'm also like, I don't know.
She may go back to cringe.
I will say Adrianette dating first, 11 to 20. I'll say that.
Ooh.
So all of us are saying not the end of the season they're going to start dating.
Yeah.
Which is
we
bold.
like torturing ourselves. Yeah, they're.
I will say about these predictions, I have seen all the titles. I'm not looking at them now. I haven't seen them since they came out, but there are some titles that imply big things happening, so I might be a little biased if I trust my memory. But they could.
God, I hope
they
I'm
could be
right.
fake outs. But
I hope I'm. Yeah,
there's definitely like big titles.
enough.
There's at least a big sounding title somewhere in 11 to 20. I'll say that. I don't even remember what it is, but
You're making me so nervous.
Okay, next one. And I don't know. Certainly based on the end of season 4, you could see Lady Noir dating first, but it needs to be Adrianette. That's how I've seen it happening all show. I've been talking about it for so long.
But they've also shown it to
dates. There's so many logistics.
Okay, let's do Sentimonsters next. When will the show officially confirm Sentimonsters?
1 through 10.
Okay, why? Because it's basically confirmed already?
Yeah, it's basically confirmed already. We just literally need them to outwardly say, like, hey, you know your son is the Sentimonster, right? Why did you give Felix the peacock? Or whatever, like, something along those lines. You know what I mean? It's basically confirmed.
Yeah, Delaney, do you agree?
I wanted, like, just for the drama, say 11/20, but no, I agree. Like, it's gonna be episode 10, but they're gonna confirm it.
Yeah, I'll say 1 to 10. Also, I guess we're all in agreement, but I could see it being 11 to 20.
Yeah.
Yeah. When will Adrian know he's a Sentimonster, though?
21 through 24.
Okay, after they're dating. Wow, that would be a shock. He learns he's a Sentimonster while dating Marinette in some form.
Yeah. Because
that'd be drama.
I feel like there's layers to that, though, too. Because there's a chance that Marinette could find out that Adrian is a Sentimonster before that. But it would be more insane if she's dating Cat Noir. Like, so it's a totally separate, like, scenario.
What if Adrian finds out he's a Sentimonster while he's Cat Noir?
Oh my gosh. But no, Adrian...
Well, yeah, he has to pretend, yeah.
Yeah, Adrian won't know he's a Sentimonster until, like, the end of the season.
Okay, Delaney, what do you think?
You know, I was going to say 25 through 27. Like, episode 27, Adrian finds out.
Wow, not until the very end of the season. Why?
One, it's because, like, to drag, like, because I'm kind of like, this is what the season's going to be about, like, is that Adrian's a Sentimonster. They have to drag this out. It also is going to take them this many episodes to convince the general public that Adrian could be a Sentimonster.
But we already know.
We already know.
Yeah, I think they've done. I see. I feel like I think they've done build up throughout season 4. I think they've done so much. I'll be the controversial one here. I'll say 11 to 20. Adrian learns he's a Sentimonster. First 10 episodes, we get it confirmed. Next 10, Adrian figures it out. I think they've done the build up, and this is also me trying to kind of shoot my shot at that big episode title somewhere in that range. Like, I know something's coming, probably. So maybe this.
I'm just here YOLOing. I have no.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know.
Yeah.
Okay, last thing, the identity reveals, Delaney. This is what everyone wants to know.
I like that you picked her for you.
Delaney, you go first on this one. When will Marinette learn Adrian's identity?
Season 6 plus.
Is this your meme prediction or your real prediction?
That's my real prediction.
That's so depressing.
I mean, ideally, I want it to be while they're dating, but no. I mean, it's like season 6, man. Look,
Okay, what's your?
Okay.
We've thought before it would be season 5. So what's
We did.
changed here?
So what's changed is that like Hawkmoth stole all the Miraculouses. And, okay, here's my thing. It went so poorly. Like Marinette told someone she's Ladybug and this happens. Like I don't think she's gonna be in a rush to tell someone else that she's Ladybug.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
April, what do you think?
See, it's hard because now that we have season 6 in play, I feel like I don't know. It's really hard because I want to put the identity reveals for the end of the season. But then like that's hard, like how are we going to have a season 6? You know what I mean? Like it's really complicated.
So here's my thing.
Because
There's
part of the drama of this show is the fact that they don't know each other's identities. So
Yeah. So what's it going to be?
I believe in you, April. You can do it.
I think that Marinette will learn Adrian's identity.
Yes.
I feel like they're going to push it back to season 6 now.
Are you locking it in season 6? Okay, we'll put it there for now. If
Like in my heart, I want to say 11 to 20, but it's not happening.
Well, okay. So can I explain for both of them? Like,
yeah. Well, let's come back to it with the next
Okay.
one. So, and then you can lock in both. So,
okay.
Also, I will say, Marinette learns Adrian's identity. So I don't think it'll be season 6. I mean, I could be wrong, of course. So I'm debating between the last chunks of episodes. I think the Marinette could be first, and then like Adrian's identity could be revealed first, and then Marinette.
Right.
To be safe, I'll
Okay.
put them both in the last chunk.
Well, so
but
okay.
that's where I'm going there.
Well, okay. So then that you have like the same sort of thought process as me.
But here's what I think. I'll try to convince you to put it in season 5. I think season 6 is they know each other's identity, and it's about the hero team now that they're running together. Kind of, we always talked about that.
Okay.
I think it's separate. I think they've wrote it separately. Could be wrong though.
Okay. That sounds better. So with that, I think that I think Adrian will learn Marinette's identity in episodes 21 through 24. And I think Marinette will learn Adrian's identity in 25 through 27.
So you think Adrian will learn Marinette before Marinette learns Adrian?
Yep.
Okay. That's interesting. See, I feel like we usually talk about it opposite, you know?
No,
I still think it'll be Marinette finds out first.
I think
why is that?
Oh, yeah.
It's
Tell me
still
why.
I don't know. Well, I mean, we talk about it. I don't know. Well, it's just. Oh, I love Adrian. I love my boy. It's just Marinette is so careful. Marinette can find out in so many different means. I feel like I don't know.
And you think they're both coming season 6 plus?
So here's the thing. The main reason I'm not making a like hardcore prediction is because so I can be pleasantly surprised it's going to happen season 5.
You're setting yourself up not to be disappointed.
To not be disappointed.
Yeah, I'm
That's
setting
really
myself
smart.
up not to be disappointed.
I changed my answers. Everything in season 6.
Yeah, so that's the thing. It's like I don't know. We have so much stuff going on, and I have no idea. And again, I still couldn't have predicted the beginning of this season that Marinette's like, I'm Ladybug, and I'm like freaking out. So I don't know. Like,
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Will there be a similarly big thing to Marinette revealing her identity to all you?
We had Marinette being like, he told me himself he doesn't want a model, and no one believed her. Like, I don't know where we're going.
Mm-hmm.
I think that when Adrian learns he's a scent monster, within that same time span, he will also learn that Marinette is Ladybug.
That would make sense. It would make a lot of sense that if that happened, like Marinette would be like, I have to tell him, or like,
yeah, because then there becomes like that sort of like that drama of, because Cat Noir has been wanting to reveal himself to Ladybug forever. And he's always wanted to know, like, he wanted them to both know each other's identities and everything like that. And I think it'll just be very dramatic for Adrian to learn that Ladybug is Marinette.
Well, also, I think there's some drama in here, too. Like, I mean, they bring it back up in this finale, and it hasn't been an issue for a bit. Will they find out that Hawkmoth is Gabriel? And is that going to be part of...
Oh, yeah.
Should we predict that one, too? I mean, presumably... Oh, yeah, when will the wish happen? Should we predict that?
Oh.
Okay,
will it happen? I mean, I think we all think that's coming into this season.
It has to be this season, yeah.
Yeah, it has to be this season.
Yeah, and probably the reveal then, too. I will say about...
Things we're saying, it's going to happen in episode 27. It's just going to happen in that one episode.
Yeah.
It's going to be 22 minutes of us just screaming.
Let's make it as painful
It's
as
literally
possible.
just like the episode like starts out and everything like builds and builds and builds, and then it just cuts to Thomas's face, and he's like, all right, Marinette knows Adrian's a Sentimonster. The wish doesn't happen. See you guys in season 6. Bye.
Yeah.
in show Thomas comes on.
In show Thomas comes on.
Fun. Yeah. Yeah. So this isn't all the big things that are happening. We said the wish, Hawkmoth's identity. So about Marinette and Adrian learning each other's identity before people remember and yell at me. I've had a whole thing in Ephemeral about how we've seen the show do pretend versions of each of them knowing each other's identity first, and so now that means the real reveal will be simultaneously. So that's why that's why I'll lock in simultaneous reveals towards the end.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be like they're like, okay, we give our rings to we give our Miraculouses to Gabriel Agreste, and we're like, okay. And then we rewrite the universe. Welcome to Lady.
Yeah.
And then that's season 6. Hold on a second. You guys, this unlocked a whole new potential.
It's a whole, it could be an alternate universe.
No, it happens in episode 26, and then episode 27 is where we fix it.
Yeah, that could do that. That'd be interesting.
I was going to say, like, it happens in, like, episodes 25 and 26, and then in 27, the wish gets made. We come into season 6, and we're in a completely different universe.
That'd be fun.
They've been teasing it.
Yeah.
But they fail at the end. Let's do it. No, let's not. But let's. So we're locked in to these predictions that are. I'll put these in the podcast description as well.
Yep.
What are your thoughts, Delaney, on this exercise?
Well, I don't know. You also love to actively type while you're asking us these questions.
I know.
And you're distracted.
You're the worst.
I'm like watching it.
Okay, it's done. It's done.
I mean, like this exercise, we love bingo. We love I also love going back and looking at these because I'll be honest. We make these predictions and then we're different people every time these episodes air. Like things change, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna be completely different. Especially.
Like we could watch the first episode of season 5 and then be like, all right, you guys, new predictions, move everything around. Like,
no, it doesn't matter. Like it's great. I love these. And then when we're wrong, it's like, oh, who cares? But when we're right, we can yell about it for at least 20 minutes. It's great. I love this.
Yeah, I hope you're not ready about season 6.
I also hope I'm not right, but I'm not going to be disappointed.
April, thoughts on the predictions?
This was stressful because I feel like I'm really committed. Like I have to commit to this now. Like also, I don't get to change my mind.
Do this to us, and we're like mid podcast. Dylan's like, "Oh, we're gonna play this game," and I'm like, "I wasn't prepared for the game."
Yeah. At what point did you have the idea for this?
Also,
game,
when
Dylan?
Dylan's like, "It's
during the podcast," obviously.
Yeah,
I knew it.
Bingo, and I'm like, "This isn't bingo. Bingo's fun."
Bingo.
Look, Ladybug bingo is stressful because the show is stressful. That's how it works.
Why don't we? Where's the Ladybug bingo card for each episode?
Well, it's Alia. Alia can make them.
Oh yeah, in show Alia makes it. That'd be funny.
She would. She could. She's the Ladybug. She has so much material.
She does now.
Okay. Yeah, I think we're similar pages here with this. You know, we're all predicting them dating within the first 20 episodes. I mean, I hope so.
Well, the fact we went from they'll never date to like they each had different, like they literally dated people for 10 minutes. Like it's wild. The shit, you never know what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
And most importantly, when will Luca...
we haven't seen him in a while.
Luca, who knows both their identities, when will that come into play?
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. Dylan.
That's the whole season.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's the season. Is Luca? It's gonna be. There'll be stuff happening, and Luca's just around the corner, like freaking out. Like Luca's like, "Do I tell them?"
I legitimately forgot about that. I'm
No,
freaking
Luca,
out
okay.
right now.
How
Here,
dare you?
Here we go. I'm writing fan fiction. Are you ready? So
Yeah.
first episode. So they're on the roof. They're crying. Cat Noir makes this really big speech. They look down. Luca's like, "Here, come down here. I have to talk to both of you." And he just he's like, "All right."
So this is immediately after season 4 ends.
I'm writing this
Yes,
down.
this is what happens. Luca's like, "Hey." And he's like, "I think y'all need to hug it out and reveal each other's identities. And if you don't do it in the next 30 seconds, I will tell each of you what the other one's identity is."
Good plan, Luca.
So good.
And that's how we start season 5.
That's how we start season 5. Luca's playing his violin really sadly on their first date.
Okay, we're in. They're dating in the beginning. I'm in.
Yeah, this happens.
Who's right? Is this April writing this?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm like, oh.
Typically, we're writing fan fiction. Doesn't mean I'm literally writing fan fiction on that line.
No, I wrote it.
Okay. Immediately.
Immediately, Luca shows up on the roof with Ladybug and Cat in the raid. He says he needs to talk to them and reveals both of their identities.
Okay, that's the whole
Be-
fic.
Begin season 5.
Okay. Delaney solved
Come
it.
with me right now.
And those of you who've seen the first episode, you're like, oh, this didn't happen. No, it's going to be a twist, and they're going to flash back, and they're going to show that happens after season 4.
Yeah.
So you don't know yet.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah.
I'm really upset I forgot that Luca knows both of their identities.
You guys don't appreciate Luca, and it shows. That's all I'll say about
Oh my god.
You made his
awesome.
picture the little icon for our group.
I was just letting it go. I was like, whatever, Dylan, it's fine. Because if I acknowledge it, that's what Dylan wants. I have to just pretend it's not there.
You're giving
that. It just warms my heart enough to know Luca is always there watching. Okay.
God.
Okay, Delaney, what are your final thoughts on anything here?
I'm really excited for the next 2 episodes, but next 2 episodes, whenever we get it. Oh, this show is just a constant. Like, I love this show, but it hurts me deeply.
Yes, good summary.
Ooh.
I agree. April, final thoughts.
Also, this is the worst bingo ever.
Guys, Luca knows both their identities.
Ruined April's life. This is like. This is all April.
This is what I get for not mentioning Luca's name in this podcast up until
I
now.
would have remembered.
Good job.
And now I'm remembering again. Oh my gosh.
Do we need to text him? Do we need to get him on here
No.
to confront
No.
you?
Thank you for listening. You can find all of us. I will end this podcast without you.
Thanks. You can support us via Patreon at patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thanks to all our current patrons, especially our patron of the podcast, Carter. And thanks as always to our patron executive producer, Steve, Michael, and Phonician. Next, we'll be back with a Luca-hosted podcast next time. Just kidding. Never again.
Oh my gosh.
Just kidding. Here's what I want to say about season 5 coverage. We'll do it when we are available and feel like it. No promises on any regular intervals. I don't want to put any pressure on anyone about this.
Also, we don't even know if it's when it's.
I don't speak Portuguese.
Yeah, I don't. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, so maybe
I
you're
have a
listening in the
friend
future
who
and you know when
speaks
it's
Portuguese. Maybe he'll watch it with me and translate.
No, we can wait a few months. So yes, once it starts airing in the US, at some point we will cover in some interval. We'll see. So that's
we'll
what
see
I'm
where
saying.
our lives are at that point if we're not
Yeah.
completely broken.
It also depends on how
exactly.
rabid we are after we watch the episode, and then we all start like yelling at each other about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hope so. I hope it elicits that strong of a reaction.
Good
Well.
or bad. That's what happens.
It probably, knowing Delaney, it will though. Regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let us know. I mean, again, okay, so if you're commenting, please, no spoilers whatsoever. Don't comment on our predictions if you've started watching the season. But if you haven't and you're like us, you can comment vaguely. But there you go. We're on the record. So I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't have done the predictions because that'll encourage people to spoil us. But okay, it was fun.
Yeah.
That's it. Thanks for listening, guys. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.